How many of you have ever looked at the American food pyramid and thought, something smells fishy here, and it's not sushi? I bet there are tons of us out there who feel that way, including me. As it turns out, it seems the American food pyramid might just be the sneakiest scam since someone decided pineapple belongs on pizza. And we're here to give you all the juicy scoop on that. From whole grains being treated like a rock star and causing more harm than good, to the lies they told you about your steaks, we'll uncover the hidden truth the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, doesn't want you to know about the food pyramid. We'll also take you on an eye-opening journey across continents to uncover food pyramids that won't actually lie to you. So get ready for a feast of facts and fun as we dig into this big scandal surrounding the American pyramid scheme. Oops, my bad. I mean, the legendary food pyramid. It's going to be one roller coaster ride, so without further ado, let's dive in. Do you know that the food pyramid didn't start as a balanced diet suggestion, but as a clever way to deal with food shortages? Back in 1943, the USDA rolled out the Basic 7 Food Guide to help Americans survive food rationing during World War II. However, the American food pyramid conspiracy officially started in the 1990s when the U.S. was dealing with the spike in obesity, diabetes, and heart-related issues. In 1992, the USDA introduced the first food guide pyramid, aiming to finally dish out recommended servings for each food group, which was something the previous guides had missed. But it turned out to be a big fat scam. For years, the traditional food pyramid reigned supreme and was perceived as the ultimate guide to American eating habits. However, it would interest you to know that this pyramid was not crafted by nutritionists, but by politicians in suits with secret ambitions. Back in those booming years, the agricultural industry was blessed with an abundance of produce, especially corn. It was like a corn city, bursting at the seams with golden goodness. But here's the twist. Since the USDA had a hand in creating the food pyramid and had a stake in the agricultural game, it was only natural for them to protect their farmer friends' interests. And what better way to do that than by leading us on a starchy adventure of consuming more carbohydrates and corn-made products? Their sneaky ploy to convince us that carb loading was the way to go was so good that we didn't know it was all part of a grand plan to make those farmers gleefully sell more and more of their corny product that was in excess at that time. Can you imagine food lobbyists and agricultural influencers behind the scenes pulling the strings like puppeteers, subtly shaping not just the pyramid, but also our very perception of what's good to eat? It's like a foodie's version of a Hollywood thriller that only gets messier. To gain a clearer perspective, let's analyze this pyramid, beginning from the foundation they suggest we should consume more. The sole presence of the bottom tier of the pyramid is sufficient cause for concern because it contains an entire stratum devoted to grains. Yes, we know whole grains are essential, but this pyramid's portrayal of grains as the ultimate foundation feels like the message was, if you're not feasting on pasta, bread, and cereal, are you even living? Perhaps they secretly want the whole country to start rolling down the street propelled by carbohydrates. That's precisely why the food pyramid was heavily roasted for being impractical and inaccurate when it first came out. Critics point out how the fad diets emphasized more on a specific food group while neglecting the importance of nutritional balance. And the most shocking part of the food pyramid scam was how they actually threw a party for carbs, as it was recommended that we consume a whopping 6 to 11 servings of bread, cereal, pasta, rice, and their whole grain pals per day. But what they failed to tell us is that those sneaky carbs transform into sugar, which our bodies lovingly store as fat. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not playing hide and seek with carbs. Our bodies do need them. But seriously, 6 to 11 servings per day for a sedentary society? Come on. That's basically a free ticket for obesity and diabetes. Now, let's go up the pyramid ladder where the fruit and veggies were jumbled together, as we're told to consume 5 to 9 servings of fruits daily. But the question is, are we training to be competitive eaters? And is this a fruit juggling act or a daily meal plan? And don't get us started with the dairy section, which proudly stood above the veggies like the Mona Lisa of dietary confusion. 3 glasses of milk a day? That's one tall order. While calcium is indeed essential, does dairy need its own prime real estate in the pyramid? We can't help but think the dairy industry might have thrown a cheese-laden party to claim this spot. And the protein tier is where things get cluckin' crazy. We were told to go easy on meat, poultry, and other protein alternatives, as if they aren't way better than the carb-laden foundation of the pyramid. It's like protein was being treated like a second-class citizen when it's clearly cooler. The whole thing is just a carnival of confusion. At the apex of this pyramid, we have fats and sweets, a duo as bizarre as peanut butter and motor oil. They're like the ultimate odd couple, forced to coexist in this pyramid puzzle. It's like the pyramid's sassy message is, hey, balance those daily fats with a sweet sugary treat. It was a wild mix of heart-healthy vibes and heart attack-inducing excitement all rolled into one. Who knew nutrition could be such a thrilling ride? Anyways, the food fight over the US pyramid has been an epic showdown, with critics and nutrition enthusiasts calling for a change. Fortunately, in 2011, the USDA eventually kicked the old pyramid to the curb and welcomed MyPlate with open arms. Imagine a dinner plate divided into 4 rough sections. They even threw in a cute little cup for dairy. In the real world, MyPlate suggests loading up half your plate with veggies and fruit. A smidge more veggies than fruit, if you please. The other half gets divided up between grains and protein, with grains taking a slightly larger slice of the pie than protein. However, one of its shortcomings is that MyPlate doesn't get into the nitty-gritty of separating starchy taters from leafy greens like spinach, even though these two green giants offer wildly different nutritional perks. Realistically speaking, the transition to MyPlate isn't a magical wand waving instant change, but it's like planting the seeds of habits that can grow into a whole forest of positive effects on your weight, health risks, and overall well-being. And guess what? The food pyramid totally missed that memo. While the American food pyramid might have been a carnival of controversy, not every nation has fallen for that nutritional pyramid scheme. Although there's no single country claiming the throne of dietary perfection, some countries have embraced healthier and more flexible eating approaches. And 2 of the countries with the best food pyramid or guide that don't have controversy or biased nutritional conspiracies are Sweden and Germany. They are the untouchable champs, offering just pure, delicious balance in their food pyramid guides. It will also interest you to know that the first food pyramid in the world was a Swedish invention. However, they have since modified it to a simpler guide. In Sweden, they keep it short and sweet, literally. Their science-backed guide boils down to one simple visual. Go for veggies, fruits, berries, nuts, seeds, and regular exercise. Whole grains, healthy fats, and low-fat dairy make the cut too. On the flip side, they suggest less processed meat, salt, sugar, and alcohol. Their cuisine, which is packed with berries, fish, dairy, and quality-sourced meats, also contributes to their high life expectancies. And how can we forget how their healthy fats and low-carb diet keep them going strong? The German food pyramid, with its wholesome base of vegetables, fruits, and salads, equally sets the stage for a nutritious and environmentally friendly feast. Whole grain products and potatoes take the spotlight in the second tier, providing a hearty dose of sustained energy for all those lederhosen hikes and polka dance-offs. In Sweden and Germany, citizens are encouraged to reduce meat consumption due to its large environmental impact. This approach not only benefits their health, but also helps preserve the planet for future generations. A true win-win. Countries like Australia and Finland are worth mentioning, as they took a different approach in their food pyramid when compared to what America had. Instead of putting plant-based foods at the top like a pyramid on its head, they flipped it and placed them at the bottom. Australia even went all out by putting lentils and beans on their pyramid twice. They know the power of these little legumes. Finland's pyramid is also a colorful wonderland of fruits, veggies, and whole grains. They've got a real bottoms-up approach to health. Fish gets the spotlight before meat, giving the fish a well-deserved moment to shine. And like a sneak peek into Sweden's future guidelines, these 2 countries are championing sustainable foods. The Finnish Food Safety Authority even has a special page dedicated to explaining sustainable food choices. Talk about going green and healthy. And let's not forget Brazil. Brazil's food guidelines are like a breath of fresh air in a world obsessed with nutrients and calories. They're not playing the pyramid game or dishing out food on kiddie plates. Instead, they're waving the cook-at-home flag and giving big food's sneaky marketing tactics a run for their money. Their secret sauce? A brilliant golden rule that's as shiny as a newly cooked pot of rice. Brazilians prefer to go for the natural or minimally processed goodies and whip up those fresh homemade dishes. They also say no to ultra-processed temptations like they're a bad Tinder match. Water, milk, and fruits are their BFFs, while soda and packaged snacks get the boot. And let's not forget, they're all about that DIY dessert game. Homemade treats are the star, while those factory-made imposters get a one-way ticket to the tasteless abyss. So while the world's busy fretting over diets and trends, Brazil is keeping it real with a food philosophy that's fresher than a breeze and cooler than a cucumber. Time to trade in those packaged nightmares for a plate full of Brazilian food wisdom, America. No doubt, it's safe to say that some countries are still not quite there yet with their food guides. But hey, Japan, Canada, and those Mediterranean folks, especially Italy, are on the right track. They're also leading the way to healthier eating. As for the good old USA, fingers crossed they join the party too. It's time to follow in those tasty footsteps and whip up a fantastic food pyramid that'll make everyone's taste buds and health do the happy dance.